Welcome. Thanks for joining us for today's workshop, Better Meetings, Greater Impact, How Effective Teams Move Work Forward with Gemini. I'm Bill Bush, the Product Marketing Lead for Google Chat. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Lisa Chen, who leads Product Marketing for Google Calendar, and Hallie Martin, who leads Product Marketing for Google Meet. Today we'll be exploring how Gemini and Google Workspace can unlock new productivity for your team and make meetings more effective. We'll explore new Gemini features in Gmail, Calendar, Meet, and Chat, and show you best practices for putting these to work in your organization. We'll also be speaking with a longtime Workspace customer to learn how they are transforming teamwork with Gemini. We have a team of product experts ready to answer your questions, so please ask in the Q&A panel at any time. First, the bad news. There are way too many meetings with far too little impact. Connecting in real time with colleagues and customers should be the most effective and fun part of your day, but too often, it's the opposite.
That's right, and there's a lot of research that supports this. According to the Harvard Business Review, 71% of senior managers say meetings are inefficient. A study from the London School of Economics found that 35% of meetings are unproductive and cost the US economy as much as $259 billion per year. And many meetings end without any clear outcome. According to a study by Atlassian Software, 77% of workers report that meetings end, with the only outcome being the decision to set up another meeting.
Our mission at Google Workspace is to deliver AI that is genuinely helpful so that teams can achieve their full potential. That's why we've woven Gemini directly into Workspace, with AI that seamlessly integrates with how you actually work.
And customers are seeing the value. According to a recent research study commissioned by Google, 82% of Workspace users find AI features valuable versus only 65% for Microsoft 365. And 85% of Workspace users report greater employee satisfaction versus 76% for Microsoft. We'll share a link to this research by email as part of the follow-up to this session.
The result is more than just better meetings. It's meaningful collaboration that delivers value for teams and impact for your business. In Gmail and Calendar, Gemini will make it easier than ever for customers and partners to find time to connect. In Meet, Gemini will take notes, be your real-time in-meeting assistant, and make sure you look and sound your best. And after the meeting, Gemini and Chat will help your team stay on top of follow-ups, decisions, and action items, so work keeps moving forward.
Let's take a deeper look at how this comes together. The team at Symbol Technologies is racing to launch a new robot lawnmower before the spring buying season. Amanda, the global marketing lead, meets regularly with external agencies, partners, and suppliers, along with internal product and marketing teams. It's essential that teams can find meeting times, arrive at effective decisions, and move into action. Let's take a look at how Amanda relies on Gemini to coordinate and collaborate without missing a beat. Help Me Schedule makes it easier than ever to coordinate meeting times, even when you can't see the other person's calendar. Amanda receives an email from her agency lead, who is looking for time to meet to discuss a marketing asset. She drafts a response and clicks Help Me Schedule. Gemini looks for available slots on her calendar and evaluates content in the email. Since Gregory asked for time next week, Gemini incorporates that context into the time suggestions. A set of options are then added to the message and she hits send. Amanda's contact, Gregory, sees the email. He evaluates the options, picks the best one, and the calendar event is added to both Gregory and Amanda's calendars in a single click. Scheduling meetings with your colleagues is also faster with Gemini. When a proposed time doesn't work, Gemini identifies other options based on everyone's availability, so organizers can adjust or reschedule. And if no open slots are available, Gemini highlights conflicts that may be easier to move. To make sure the meeting is effective and her team arrives prepared, Amanda clicks the chat icon in the calendar invite. With new continuous meeting chat, this creates a persistent chat space that will be available before, during, and after the meeting.
At the start of the meeting, Amanda turns on Take Notes for Me. Gemini will automatically capture meeting notes, organize them in a doc, and share them with participants after the meeting. This frees Amanda up to be fully engaged, knowing the important details are being captured. During the meeting, Gemini is ready to help with real-time assistance. For example, if you want an overview of the conversation in real time, just ask Gemini. Gemini will surface key details from the conversation so you don't miss a beat. Gemini can also catch you up if you arrive a few minutes late, search the web, capture action items, and much more. For teams that want to collaborate across different languages, speech translation can be a game changer. Gemini translates speech into your preferred language in near real time, all while preserving unique voice and tone. And studio look, studio lighting, and studio sound give you confidence that you'll look and sound clear on every call.
So the meeting is over, but work is just getting started. Fortunately, with Gemini and Workspace, it's a smooth transition from meeting to action. With continuous meeting chat, all of the messages, shared files, even emojis are preserved for ongoing collaboration. This makes it seamless to pick up the conversation after the meeting and move work forward. As the teamwork continues, Gemini and Chat provides a range of helpful, powerful assistance. You can search your entire conversation history, refine messages before you send to hit just the right tone, and Gemini will automatically translate messages into your preferred language to continue the cross-cultural collaboration. We've also made it easy to share information from Gmail to Chat. If the team needs important information that's in your inbox, you can open the message, click Share in Chat, pick the right space, add relevant details, and then hit Send. Instead of chasing files, you can gather everything together in one collaboration space so the team can work faster with less friction. We also know that organizations rely on best-in-class apps and integrations to drive collaboration and move work forward. Workspace offers a robust and growing ecosystem of popular third-party apps like Asana, Jira, GitHub, and many more that bring essential services right into the flow of work. Visual collaboration tools like Figma, Lucid, and Miro support the entire meeting journey with embedded links in Calendar for easy reference, a powerful virtual canvas in Meet, and ongoing integration with Chat for post-meeting collaboration.
So that's how things work for our imaginary product launch at Symbol. But let's hear how this works in the real world. Trimble is one of our leading and longtime Workspace customers and an early adopter of Gemini for team collaboration. Today, we're pleased to welcome Frey Crook, Google Workspace Platform Manager at Trimble.
Frey, thank you for being here today. First of all, I just want to congratulate you on Trimble's success with adopting Gemini.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about Trimble and what your role is at the company?
Sure. Trimble is complicated, but basically they're sitting at the intersection of the physical world and the digital world in geospatial, agriculture, oil and gas exploration, forestry, and construction. And my role at Trimble is that I run Google technologies, basically. Google Workspace, Google Cloud, Google Hardware. The centering all of that is myself and my team.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you helped your teams get started with Gemini, and do you have any insights or recommendations that you can share with other teams?
Sure. First of all, a shout out to my trainer and communications lead, Liz Mitchell, who actually designed the program to get everybody on board. We didn't want Gemini to be a product that would only be used by technical people or be used in a niche way. We wanted it to make sure that it was a tool for everybody. And so we started out by denying access to it. We didn't turn it on in the admin console until we had 2 weeks of training that everybody was encouraged to attend on how to do a prompt, what you could use it for, some actual case studies, things like that. Then we went ahead and turned it on, but we accompanied that with open chat spaces for Gemini users. We have a Gemini Champions program with people that are most enthusiastic about the product, multiple articles about Gemini, so we've really kind of kept up the pressure to keep people informed and engaged and using Gemini. And right now we're at 87% of people that are using it on I think 4,000 on a daily basis. So every day, 4,000 people out of our, about 1/3 of our workforce. So it's been really, really successful, and you can really see the effects in productivity.
That's great to hear. I would love to ask you more about the Gemini Champions program and what sorts of feedback you're hearing from your team. What are people saying about Gemini?
It's actually based on what we do for our integrations. Trimble has acquired a number of companies over the years. I'm usually part of that for the data transfer, so we always have a Google Champions or Google Guide program that works with bringing people in from a Microsoft environment or what have you, or even from a Google environment into an enterprise Google environment with all the complexity that Trimble has and how they can navigate and negotiate that. So we simply took that and moved it into our Gemini Champions program, doing the same thing by identifying people who were excited about the technology, and then making sure that the people we were identifying weren't just developers. And they take on a leadership position for telling their teams and their organization, their geographic area in some cases, about everything Gemini has to offer. And that also is a multiplier for us to make sure that we have more than just my kind of small team of 5 people that are able to do local training. So when there's big feature releases and things like that, we can actually push out slide decks and push out other information to help people give local training to their teams to make sure that they get up on Gemini as quickly as possible.
Amazing. I would love to hear more about what sorts of features or products people are using with Gemini to feel more productive at Trimble.
One of the reasons actually that we kind of cast a net so large or so wide for the Champions program is that I know Google really well, I know Gemini really well, but I know how to be an IS person, an admin best of all. I don't know how to be a lawyer or to be somebody in finance or anything. So I was hoping that once we brought these other champions in, that they would be able to basically shock me and give me this information on, hey, this is a great application over here, a great application over here, for things that I wouldn't know how to do because I'm not doing what they do every day. And that has certainly turned out to be the case. The real breakthrough our initial breakthrough was Notebook LM. Everybody adored Notebook LM. That was the one thing that got people really, really excited. Vids was another one that people started using very heavily to do their own videos for training and for other purposes, because you didn't necessarily need to have a specialized team in order to do a really nice looking video. People could do them on the fly, and then that specialized team, instead of doing videos, turned into doing backgrounds or doing the appropriate templates and things like that. So they kind of did things that would apply to everybody instead of little 1s and 2s everywhere. And then the Gemini app itself is something that people are now getting very used to doing prompting, and of course now you can share prompts. One of the people that I work with in sales was busy sharing this big gem that he created, where before he does a cold call, he uses Gemini to go out and pull out all the information, pull out information about the industries, who they might be competing against, who the customer might be competing against in his geographic area or his particular technological specialty, so that when they get on the phone with them, they know as much about their business as the customer does, it seems like.
Are there any particular features or tools that you find help with collaboration during meetings?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, the reason that Trimble went to Google Workspace almost exactly 10 years ago, it'll be 10 years in May, was for collaboration because we're so spread out. At the time, we had 350 international offices, and most teams are across those offices. So collaboration is an absolute must. And Meet and chat with the new Gemini features has really bumped up the collaboration. We do about 160,000 meets a month. And now that we have the ability to, say, take notes during those meetings, to do things like fine-tune video so they actually look professional and they're not like shadowed or have odd colors or things like that, has really been extremely useful. In addition, the summaries. You're late getting to the meeting, you can click on the Gemini, you can look at a summary of what you missed and the high points, and you don't have to go through the normal, it's like, oh, Frey just joined us, so let's go ahead and bring him up to date. It makes it a lot easier for people to actually figure out where they are in the meeting and kind of remember what those key points are that people need to do, or those action items that people need to pull out. And then taking the artifacts from that meeting, and instead of just dumping them in a shared drive somewhere where people can refer to them later, actually putting them into something like Notebook LM. So you could actually have Notebook LM pull out a timeline of action items, or actually pull out things that were complete.
Are there any non-negotiable tools that you feel like Trimble really relies on before a meeting happens and then after a meeting happens?
Having Gemini take those notes and being able to put those notes into a queryable database that's available to everybody in that meet makes it so that a lot more things coming out of those meetings are actionable, that the project manager can do things about actually managing and communicating instead of just being a glorified note taker, and has something to back them up about, I have it right here that you said this at this time. So we actually now have it as policy that we record meetings, we record transcripts, and then of course we have Gemini as the ultimate source of truth. And then using Notebook LM to amalgamate all that makes it so that we don't have a lot of, I don't remember who was supposed to say that, did I say that, or any other kind of confusion about these. And even if you miss the meeting, you can go ahead and have Notebook LM, can you summarize the last meeting for me? And have it pull everything out, or summarize the last meeting and pull out action items where I might have been mentioned. And have it go ahead and pull that stuff out and give it to you. So we have much more connected, much more effective meetings, and a lot less follow-up about who did what, and was this done, and was this taken care of.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Frey. It's great to hear how Trimble is using Gemini to be more productive.
Thank you for having me.
It's incredible to learn how Gemini is transforming collaboration and helping move work forward for Trimble. And the same potential is available for your organization. Even if you're already using Workspace, you can unlock more value from Gemini by moving from isolated point solutions and adopting Meet and Chat.
Last year, we partnered with 66 Degrees to build a migration toolkit to help customers move to Google Meet. If your organization is already using Workspace, this toolkit gives you everything you need to deploy Meet for team collaboration. We'll send out a link to everyone attending today's workshop.
We've also made it easier than ever to move your existing collaboration data to Chat, including self-managed migrations using the data migration service built into Workspace, partner-supported migrations with end-to-end white glove service, and even self-built DIY solutions for organizations with in-house technical resources. We'll share information and links by email after today's session.
Our team would be happy to connect to help you get started with Gemini and Google Workspace. If you would like to be contacted by the Workspace sales team, please let us know by clicking the survey on the right-hand side of the screen.
In closing, I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and a huge thank you to all of our presenters. Please keep an eye out for our follow-up email with all the links and resources shared in the presentation today.